Hi friends, I welcome you all at RBI Grade B. As you know that we are running a government scheme series for your upcoming exam, and we are covering schemes one by one, and we are taking the scheme one by one from different ministry. And in this series today we will cover the scheme from Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and this is lecture 1, and we will cover all the schemes from this Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in 3 lectures. So our first scheme for today is DNULM, and it is known as Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and in short it is also known as National Urban Livelihood Mission. This is the timeline of this scheme. In this scheme it was launched in 2013 and it was restructured from the existing Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. It means before 2013 this SGSRY Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana was in picture, and currently this scheme was running for completing the objective of this scheme. Then this National Urban Livelihood Mission was launched in 2013. In September 24, 2020, all the district headquarters, irrespective of population, was covered by this scheme, and all the cities with population 1 lakh or more was covered by this scheme. And there was a change in February 19, 2016. After 3 years of launching of this scheme was renamed by enhancing its scope, and its mission was changed, and after rename it was known as Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Urban Livelihood Mission, that is DNULM. This scheme has certain aim. So one by one you can see its main aim is to reduce the urban poverty, because this scheme is especially launched for urban area in our country. It will also increase the number of employment opportunities in urban area. I will tell you in detail that what are the components of this scheme, then you are able to integrate the aim and objective of the scheme with this component. And its main aim is also to increase the opportunities for self-employment in urban area, and it will also providing shelter urban homeland. So what he is doing, he is reducing urban poverty, giving employment opportunities, giving opportunities for self-employment, and it is also providing shelter to urban homeland. Now we will come to the component part, then you are able to understand what is the aim and how this aim of this scheme is going to be completed, or target is going to be achieved. First of all, what is the funding pattern? For the northeastern state, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura, the share is between 90 and 10, and for the Himalayan state it is also for 19 and 10, and other states excluding in this it is 60 and 40, that is the general state, and for the UTs with legislature or the UTs without legislature it is 100% funded by the central government. So it is very simple, the funding pattern is not very deep. Now we will come to the component part of this scheme. There are various components. What I have told you about the aim of this scheme: reduction in poverty, employment opportunities, self-employment opportunity, and they are providing support for homeless and shelter for the homeless people. Now, if you will see the component of this scheme, then you will find that there are components, that is social mobilization and institution development, employment through skill training and placement, capacity building and training, self-employment program, scheme for shelter and for urban homeless, support for urban street vendors, and innovative and special project. So these all are the components upon which government is doing work with the help of states and other stakeholders. And by taking all the stakeholders and state, government is completing the target of this scheme by considering these components into picture. So this is the picturization of this, whatever I have told you in my earlier slide. Now, there are the 2 types of benefit this scheme is providing. The first is the financial benefit, and the second one is the non-financial benefit. Under this financial benefit, Actually, the aim is to give self-employment. So under this self-employment program, urban poor who wish to set up their own self-employment venture micro-enterprises can take a loan on 7% rate of interest. An individual can take a loan up to 2 lakh or a group can take a loan up to 10 lakh. And for this self-help group, all the SHG urban poor can also take loan at the rate of 7%, and with additional 3% interest subvention will be provided to all women. So in case of women, they are providing 3% of subvention on the interest. And in last, if the loan is repaid at the time, then in this case, timely repayment will also give some incentive to the person which is taking loan, and the effective loan will be at 4%. Now, these are some non-financial benefits that in case of shelter for urban homeless, under this they are providing financial support to state government, urban local bodies for construction as well as operation management of permanent shelter for urban homeless. I will go in detail all these, that the shelter for urban homeless in my subsequent slide. And what they are doing for urban street vendor, they are supporting development for vendor market, vending zone, informal sector market with infrastructure, civic facilities such as paving, water supply, solid waste disposal facility, lighting, storage space, etc. And they are also providing, they have a target that whatever budget is allocated for this scheme, 5% of this total budget will be spent on this component, that is urban street vendor. Now we will see the different sub-components on which government is working. So first component is building community institutions like self-help group and their federation. So what government is doing for this development, for development of this self-help group and the federation, they are providing 10,000 per self-help group for its formation, and they are giving hand holding up to 2 years, and they are giving training to all the members. They are providing bank linkages and formation of federation and other related activities. They are also working upon this universal financial inclusion. So in this bank linkage part, they are also giving some universal financial inclusion of all these groups. So they are developing, building community institutions like self-help group and their federations. Now this is a revolving fund. What they are giving to support this self-help group and their federation, I have told you that they are giving revolving fund support to the tune of 10,000 per self-help group, and they are also providing that self-help group with more than 70% urban poor. It means whatever self-help group formed in urban area, then it should be comprises of 70% composition of this group should come from this urban poor. And one such condition they have also put here, that this group should not take any support earlier. It means they are taking this support first time, and earlier they are not taking these types of support. Now they are also providing revolving fund support of 50,000, and it would be available to registered area level federation to sustain their activity. So this is also a community or a type of group that is formed by the people, and this is formed by the urban local people. Now this is a city livelihood center. If you will see in this figure, I have taken this figure to explain you more. This is a city livelihood center, and it was formed under this National Urban Livelihood Development, and it is from somewhere from Ranchi. Now it will provide a platform whereby the urban poor can market their services and access information and other benefits. Whatever, for example, if any person is producing something, then it required some market, some information, some services. So these centers, that is simply livelihood centers, are going to have the people in market and access information of the market. So what they are doing, they are giving a grant of 10 lakhs per CLC to provide as a untied funds in installment linked to the achievement of the milestone. Now, there are some program, some center. It means I want to say that this city livelihood center should be located at each place. So what is the criteria? If any place or any city has a population between 1 to 3 lakh, then one CLC should be there. It will be ensured by the government through this scheme. And if any area has 3 lakh to 5 lakhs of population, then number should be 2. And if any area has a population more than 5 lakh and but less than 10 lakh, then the number can be increased up to 3. And if 10 lakh, then it is 8. And district headquarters and other statutory town with population 1 lakh, then one number is sufficient. So the ceiling of the CLC to be decided according to the population. Now, this is the employment through skill training and placement. Under this, what they are doing? Under this employment through skill training, that is ESTNP, government is providing assistance for development, upgrading of the skill of the urban poor. And they are enhancing their capacity for self-employment and self-employment without any education qualification. They are not expecting any education qualification to get this training from this mission. And they are giving some reservation under this. For example, the women beneficiary should not be less than 30%. SC and ST people should be in proportion of their strength in the city population, 3% reservation for differently abled people, and 15% of this physical and financial target should be reached to the minority communities. And in last, they are also deciding the cost per beneficiary should not exceed 15,000 in case of general states and 18,000 for northeastern and special category states. Now this self-employment individual and group enterprises, under this we have already discussed that they are providing 2 lakh for individual self-employment individual and 10 lakh for group enterprises, and they are considering that this group should be formed 17% of the members from the urban poor families. And what they are giving? They are giving no margin should be taken from loan up to 15,000, and for higher amount loan preferably 5% should be taken as a margin money, and it should not be case be more than 10% of the project cost. And what they are giving? They are also providing interest subsidy above 7%. It means they are providing loan at ₹7% and without any collateral. So no collateral is envisaged under this micro enterprises. So what they are doing? They are giving 2 lakhs of rupees in case of individual, 10 lakhs of rupees in case of group enterprises, subjected to the condition that this group should be formed from the urban poor and it should maintain minimum 70%. And they are giving subsidy over 7% of interest rate, and the loan is given at no collateral. And the range of loan 5 to 7 years, and after initial moratorium of 6 to 8 months as per the norms of the bank. Now, this is the support to urban street vendor. In case what they are doing, they will find the street vendor survey with a view to identify vendor zones and existing practice, which I have told you that it is the aim of this scheme. And they will issue the I-card to the vendor by the urban local bodies. They will develop the city street vending plan, vendor marketing development plan, and they will also provide bank linkages by opening basic saving accounts. And they will facilitate bank linkages for working requirement. They will give skill development to these vendors, and they will also give some social security convergence by merging this scheme with the other schemes. In last, they are also providing a scheme for shelter for urban homeless. In this case, they are giving For every 1 lakh of urban population, permanent 24/7 all weather community shelter they are providing. Each shelter will cater up to 50 to 100%. In this shelter, they are giving all infrastructure facility like kitchen, water, sanitation, electricity and recreation. Minimum space they are giving 5 square meter or 50 square feet for per person. Location of the shelter to be close to the place of concentration of homeless person and their workplace. And they are linking these home shelters with social security and other entitlements. Shelter management committee is also formed to manage the shelter, and they are sharing the construction cost in 70 to 25 ratio for general states, and for special or northeastern states they are sharing the cost in the ratio of 19 and 10, and the operation and maintenance cost will also share in the same proportion which I have told you, and the operation and maintenance cost will be shared up to 5 years. So this is the plan of the government. Now in case of capacity building, what they are doing, they are giving technical support at national state level for setting and implementation of structure, and the technical support team to be positioned at NNMU, that is 10, state level SSMU 6, and for big and for small states they are giving 4. For town greater than 5 lakhs of population they are giving 4, and 3 to 5 lakhs population town, and 2 for less than 3 lakhs of population of town. Now, NULM will also support the cost of NMMU, SFMU or CMMU for 5 years, and state will also create dedicated agency for this SULM, which will be the nodal agency for implementation of this NULM. Right. Now, the training and other capacity building support for mission management unit at the national and state level will be given, and they are giving some provision of 7,500 per member for training and capacity building. So this is a plan for capacity building and training under this scheme. Now they have launched a Pesa Portal, and this is the what is the meaning of this Pesa Portal? This is a portal for affordable credit and interest subvention access, and it was launched in November 26, 2018. And this is a web portal was designed and developed by the Allahabad Bank, and it is a centralized electronic platform for processing interest subvention on the bank loans to beneficiary. I have told you that the government is providing loan at 7%, and in some cases it is also providing at 4%. So we will take care of this subvention, and we will give the subsidy on this in this interest. So this Allahabad Bank is giving subsidy, and they have launched a portal that is known as the Pesa Portal. So this was the scheme, and our next scheme is PM Swanidhi, that is PM Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme. It is a scheme especially designed for micro credit facility for street vendor, and it is launched by the Ministry of Urban Affairs to empower the street vendor by not only extending loan to them but also for their holistic and economic upliftment. What the government is offering to this street vendor, the scheme intends to facilitate a collateral free working capital loan of 10,000 for 1 year tenure to approximately 50 lakh street vendor. Why this scheme was launched? During COVID time, most of the street vendors are suffering from are looking for money. So this amount which was given under this PM Swanidhi scheme, they are giving some initial amount or a supporting amount of 10,000 for this street vendor to start their business again, so they can earn some livelihood during the tough time of the COVID-19. There are some silent features, that is, they are providing initial capital of 10,000. They are also giving interest subsidy for early repayment, that is at 7%. They are giving some monthly cashback incentives on digital transaction and higher loan eligibility on timely repayment. For example, if any person is digitally giving digital transaction at their work, so they are giving some monthly cashback to them. They are giving 7% incentive, and if they are returning their loan, repaying their loan on time, then they are also increasing their loan eligibility from 10,000 to 20,000 or more. And who are the lending institution? The scheduled commercial bank, regional rural bank, small finance bank, cooperative banks, non-banking financial company, microfinance institution, and self-help bank. And this scheme will be implemented up to March 2022. Now, what are the eligible criteria? The eligibility of the state. The scheme will be available to the state which have notified rules and scheme under the Street Vendor Protection of Livelihood and Regulation Street Vending Act. There are some exceptions. Under this exception, beneficiaries from Meghalaya, which has its own Street Vendor Act, may participate in this scheme. Eligibility for getting benefit under this scheme is: these are all street vendors engaged in vending in urban areas on or before 24th March 2020 are eligible. And the eligible vendors will be identified as per the following criteria. The first is street vendor in possession of certificate of vending identity card. This is issued by the local bodies. The vendor who have been identified in a survey but not has been issued certificate. A survey was done by the government, and under this survey they are identified as the street vendor, so they will be eligible unless they have certificate or not, which I have told you in this first part. Street vendor left out of the ULB-led identification survey and who have started vending after completion of the survey have been issued a letter of recommendation to that effect by the urban local bodies. And the vendors of surrounding development, peri-urban area, rural area, vending in the geographical limits of the urban local and have been issued letter of recommendation are also eligible for getting benefit from this scheme. So friends, this was all from my side today. I will come up with more scheme from this ministry, and this is lecture 1 and lecture 2 and lecture 3. We will cover all the scheme related to this ministry. So till then, thank you and happy learning. पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए.